Global DJs, real stories, pure energy. This is Behind the Decks.
Ladies and gentlemen, here I am with Josie Tabb and her brother Logan. Brighton DJs, very big on the scene, I should say, in Brighton. And very excited about this interview. And I've been looking forward to it for over a month now. This is a special for Behind the Decks podcast, episode number 4. Let me introduce you to Josie. Josie, how are you doing?
Hello, I'm good, thank you.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
We're going to start just by learning a little bit more about you. And I know you're still actually recovering from New Year's Eve.
I am indeed.
So we'll take it easy. What were you doing New Year's Eve, Josie?
What wasn't I doing on New Year's Eve? I had 2 sets. The first one was actually with Code South. It was a back-to-back with my brother. That was at 8 p.m. It was at the Freemasons in Hove. Great little warm-up. It was unreal. We got to play some stuff that we don't always usually play. I think when you're playing earlier on in the night, you get to play a lot of warm-up stuff. And yeah, it was great. It was really good. And then I played at Tempest from 11 p.m. to 1 a.m, which was a blast. It's one of my favourite venues in Brighton. I always have so much fun playing there. And the crowd was amazing. It was nice and busy. And yeah, I got to play also a lot of stuff that you wouldn't normally play on a normal night. I think on New Year's everyone just doesn't really care and they're a bit more open to hearing different stuff. So I took that to my advantage and kind of just went off on one. And yeah, it was great. And then afterwards was seeing the new year in correctly.
So I heard that you partied through till 11 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, I definitely did, yeah.
I remember those days. A long time ago. I can't remember the last time I did that. I don't think I'd be able to function for months afterwards if I partied through the night till 11 o'clock in the morning. But you're still young, so how old are you?
I'm 20.
You're 20. And how long have you been DJing for?
I'd say properly since I was 16, 17. Before then I'd kind of had a little bit of a go on my dad's decks, but it was never really seriously. And then I think ever since we moved to Brighton, which was like 2 years ago now, I really wanted to start taking it seriously, as there is a bit more of a scene here. Where we used to live, it was in the middle of nowhere, and yeah, I also didn't really go out. Obviously, when you're 15, 16, you didn't go out as much. And then I think when I started going to raves and going to parties, I was like, wow, like I really, really want to do this. So
that's it. Okay, so you were heavily influenced by your parents at a young age.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, definitely.
So what were your parents into?
So my mum plays the piano, so there was always a piano going around in the house. She listens to a lot of rock and roll, a lot of funk, all sorts of music, to be honest. My dad, on the other hand, he's very disco, funk, soul driven, house as well. Lots of progressive house, a lot of bit of trance. And I think hearing both of those all of these different sounds growing up, it was just inevitable that me and my brother were. It was always going to happen. And I think also the range of sounds as well, that's developed into us having quite a broad range of music taste. But yeah, there was no way it wasn't going to happen, the amount of music that was in the house.
So yeah, that must be amazing then, to have grown up around all sorts of different types of styles and genres of music, and to hopefully that filters into what you do now. We spoke before about this, and you said how you like to play those tunes that your parents loved in the beginning, the stuff that not everybody knows and not every DJ plays. So where do you find that music? Is that something that your parents introduced to you, and where do you go to find your music?
So my dad has a very big record collection. Who knows how many records, but there's a lot of them. So it would be either digging through them, digging in Brighton, going to different record shops, because there's a few in London as well. And also I think listening to sets as well. I listen to a lot of mixes, a lot of sets. I always find a DJ that I really like, and then I'll listen to a lot of their music. And I always tend to go to their earlier ones as well. I don't know why I do that. I just feel like the earlier ones can sometimes be better. And if I find a tune I like in there, I'll try everything I can to try and find it. I also go out. I like to go out quite a lot, not too much. I think balance is key, but going out and finding music out as well. Like I don't know. So there's been times where I've heard a tune and I'm like, that is the most insane feeling. And when you're being in the crowd, and I'm like, right, I want to play that because I know how it felt to be in the crowd listening to it. So I think that's important.
Yeah, very much so. Something that you identify to, and you can see that it's really going off. Yeah. And everybody else is identifying to it. Then you want that in your set. Absolutely. Okay, and so are you playing vinyl, or are you what software are you using?
Bit of both. When I'm playing out, it's just digital with my USB. But at home, trying to really perfect my craft in vinyl mixing. My brother's great at mixing vinyl. I'm lucky also to have my dad, my uncle as well. He's also was a DJ, so we're very lucky to have them teaching us the ways. But I think now more than ever as well, it's just it's so important to genuinely know how to mix vinyl. I think back in the day, that's what you would have had to done, and I think it's so much more rewarding knowing how to genuinely mix in 2 tracks physically. So yeah, I'm hopefully within the next year or so I want to start bringing my own records out, because I have quite a few in my collections, getting bigger and bigger, but I don't think I'm in the position to play out yet. But that's yet, so
not
fingers
yet,
crossed.
but it will be.
It will be.
Yeah, 2026. I think it's going to be a big year for a lot of people. I'm really looking forward to seeing how. I mean, I talk to a lot of people, and everyone's trying to get somewhere. Although there's some people that are not trying to get anywhere. What are you trying to do? I mean, I was speaking to somebody the other day, and they were quite happy where they are, doing a show on Code South, doing a few gigs here and there. Don't want to make it big. Got to the, they don't want to get to the point where, because the production's so set in stone, that they're just playing out mixes that are pre-recorded so that it all fits with the lighting and on the big stage. So, a lot of people don't want to even get anywhere near being big and famous. Some people are happy just to stay where they are. What do you want to do?
I think, realistically, it's all I think about all day, every day. When I left school, I went to uni for a little bit. Uni was never on the cards for me at all. When I told people I was going to uni, they were like, what? Like, you're going to uni? And I was like, no, I'm going to give it a go. And I did electronic music production, and I lasted about 3 months. I learned a lot, and I think it was a great experience for me to try. But I also felt like my creativity was getting squashed a bit, and I would rather just figure it out by myself. So that's what I did. I then ended up getting a little bit sidetracked and did some social media marketing for a bit, which was, again, actually great experience, and I'll definitely need to use that in the future. When I was doing that, all I could think about was music. Every day I was like, I just don't want to be doing this. All I can think about is music, and I remember I was meant to be doing work, and I just ended up listening to a mix in the background, and then 2 minutes later I'd be down a hole trying to find the tunes in this mix, and I was like, oh my god, what am I doing? So I ended up stopping that, and then kind of now just putting all of my energy into music. I still have a job on the side, but yeah, it's all I can think about, and I think I'm in a position where I can make it big, and same with my brother as well. Us two combined, with the energy that we're putting in, we just have to believe that it's going to happen. Yes, it's probably going to take many, many years, and that's completely fine, but I think it's all part of the process, right? I don't want it to happen overnight. I think if it happens overnight, then you don't get it's not as rewarding.
No, and you have to progress and find your style within the music, don't you?
Yeah.
And find your place within the scene as well. How do you go about getting gigs?
I'm actually quite lucky, and when we moved here 2 years ago, I posted something on TikTok, and this guy that lived in Brighton found the TikTok, really liked what I was playing, and then got me on a set. And then after that set, I met people, and then they put me on their gigs, and then so on, so on, so on. And then I think it's just about, that's kind of how it happens, right? You just meet people on nights out, and then turns out they know people, then they know people, and they know people. And that's kind of just how it's been. It's been quite organic. I am quite lucky. But I would like to start. I've done a few sets in London, but I would like to start playing in other cities around the UK, definitely.
So it's mainly been Brighton for you then? I mean, it is a scene all in itself, isn't it, Brighton? And people often say it's the little London. And surely you should be able to sort of translate over from here to the bigger city. How does that go? How do you go about that? Do you need to find promoters that are working in London, or are there people here in Brighton that can push you in that direction? How does that work? I
think the sets I've been in, that I've got in London, has been through actually friends. I think I met one of the promoters on a night out. I think I was at Fabric and ended up chatting to this guy in a spoke area, and then he was just like, I actually put on my own parties, and then I showed him my stuff, and then he was like, cool, like, we would love to have you on. And then from then I made some more friends as well, so hopefully that something comes from it.
So basically it's like you say, if you went into it quickly, you'd have no control over your own growth, would you? Whereas as you're progressing gradually into the scene and making your own contacts, you're placed exactly where you should be at that point, because that's where you've learnt to be, and that's where you're manifesting yourself to be at that point anyway. Do you believe in manifesting?
I do, definitely. Yeah. Just
living that thing that you want to be, and being that thing that you want to be, and telling people that you are being it and being it, and then eventually you become it. Well, it looks like you're doing that, so that's really good. Now we're going to play some of your music, and tell us about your socials. Where can people find your music first of all? So
my Instagram is just josie.tabb. Tabb is Tabb. Everyone always plays it Tab, but it's double B. And then my SoundCloud, I've got quite a few mixes on there. That's just my name as well, just Josie Tabb, all one word. My SoundCloud, I actually started a series called the Jet Sessions. My initials are Jet, Josie and a Tabb, so I wanted to make a little series, and through there I play all sorts of house. Each mix is very, very different, and I've found that when I play out, sometimes you have to play to the crowd, which is completely fine, but you have to play to the crowd, and you can't always play exactly what you want to play. So with this series, I wanted to solely just do whatever I would play, like my ideal situation, perfect crowd, perfect club, perfect venue, what would I play, and then that's what the series is. So if you would like to see, let's check that out, then my SoundCloud is Josie Tabb.
One more question before we talk to your brother. As an artist, is there anything deep about what you're trying to achieve?
100%.
Yeah.
I think I kind of touched on this earlier, like the feeling of going out and experiencing music. I think I've always listened to electronic music, always, since I can remember. It's always been there. But when I started going out and I started partying, which was around 16, 17, I remember I actually saw Solomon at Finsbury Park in 2022. And I came home and I felt like crying. I was like, it was an 8-hour set. I was there from the start to the finish, and Logan already had some decks, and I got home and I was just like, right, how do I do this? Like, I need to do this. And it was that feeling that I got when I left, and I was just like, I need to be able to make people feel like that. And I feel like it sounds a little bit cliche. I feel like people always say it, but you don't kind of realise the impact it has until you're there, right? And I'd like to say as well, the parties that I go to, like I go to a lot of, there's a record label called Inner Visions, which is Dixon and Arm's record label, and when I've seen them probably about 5 times now, and every single time I'm in the crowd, like me and my friends the amount of young people there is not many at all. It's a lot of the older crowd. And that has been my best nights out. And I feel like a lot of people don't know about this kind of scene of music, like the melodic techno that are our age. And those have been my best nights out. because you don't know any of the tunes. I never know any of them. Like, you have no idea what they're going to play next, but it's that feeling of going home after and searching deep for this music, and the feeling that it's got so much soul to it and it's got so much emotion to it that you forget about everything when you're there. Whereas I think there are some events where you'll go and it'll be like remixes of tunes or a lot of stuff with lyrics in it, and you kind of know what the DJ is expecting, and you're like, oh, that was good, but like I kind of knew what was happening, and you're in a position where you can kind of get distracted and end up having conversations when you're not listening to music. But this kind of scene, which is where I want to go to, which is the kind of the deeper Tulum style, like after party style, you genuinely like physically can't focus on anything else but the music, and I think that forces you into this different state and this high vibrational state where you just feel so incredible and afterwards. So I think that's where I get my biggest inspiration from, and I want to take people on these journeys and especially people my age, I want to introduce them to different styles of music and remind them that yes, it's getting so big on TikTok and Instagram and everyone now wants to be a DJ, but there's also so much more to it as well. There's this other side where that you have to dig deep into.
Excellent. That's an excellent answer, by the way. It's. I feel proud to have people that have that that sense of trying to share something like amazing on my shows, because that's what I try and do, and that's why I do it as well. You know, to make somebody feel a certain way by controlling vibrations. Well, that's magic, isn't it? It really is. Okay, look, we're going to play some of your music. What are we going to play?
So we're going to play kind of what I was saying earlier, like my ideal music, my ideal stuff that I would love to play in a set. So a little bit of deep house, a little bit of progressive, a little bit of melodic techno, some minimal as well. Just weird noises, basically. A lot of weird noises.
Excellent. Thanks ever so much.
Thank you so much for having me.
I wish you all the luck in the world.
Thank you.
Hosted by Ed Patterson, bringing you the sound of the underground.
our hand clapping and our foot stomping. Young, back home in church, the old folks used to say, we don't need no music. All we need is our hand clapping and our foot stomping. You know, when the power used to go out and everything, the old folks used to get a beat like this, and they start clapping, and you could feel the spirit move throughout the building. The atmosphere would just change. And you see an old mother just sitting over there rocking on the mother's board, just rocking. You knew something was about to happen. But she started moving, she started coming to life over there. She started coming to life over there.
I'm with you. We don't have to change a thing, 'cause there's nothing wrong with it. I feel like my best when I'm with you. We don't have to change a thing, 'cause there's nothing wrong with it. I feel like my best when I'm with you. We don't have to change a thing, 'cause there's nothing wrong with it. I feel like my best when I'm with you. We don't have to change a thing, 'cause there's nothing wrong with it. I feel like my best when I'm with you. We don't have to change a thing, 'cause there's nothing wrong with it. I feel like my best when I'm with you. We don't have to change a thing, 'cause there's nothing wrong with it. I feel like my best when I'm with you. We don't have to change a thing, 'cause there's nothing wrong with it. I feel like my best when I'm with you. We don't have to change a thing, 'cause there's nothing wrong with it. I feel like my best when I'm with you. We don't have to change a thing, 'cause there's nothing wrong with it. I feel like my best when I'm with you. We don't have to change a thing, 'cause there's nothing wrong with it. I feel like my best when I'm with you. We don't have to change a thing, 'cause there's nothing wrong with it. I feel like my best when I'm with you. We don't have to change a thing, 'cause there's nothing wrong with it.
Subscribe, share, and turn it up. Behind the Decks with Ed Patterson, where DJs drop the beat and the truth.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd now like to introduce you to DJ Tabbsy,
Hello.
aka Logan Tabbs, brother of Josie.
That's right.
God, that's a long name. That's quite a good introduction, that, isn't it? And yeah, King of Kings and all that kind of thing. Welcome to the show, mate.
Thank you for having us.
It's my pleasure. Now, I want to talk to you. Josie's said a lot about the same sort of things that you believe, so
Yeah.
I'm going to try and divert onto something else a
Yeah.
little bit more. And I know that you do quite a lot of production.
That's right.
So what I'd like to do is play out a couple of your tracks.
Yep.
But before we do that, let's just have a bit of a chat about the process of your writing and the producing.
Okay.
Where does it all start for you?
So I started production. I think it was 3 years ago now. I started on Ableton. I found it really, really hard at first, as everyone does. You know, I was sort of alone with it. I didn't really know any other producers other than myself. and I sort of had to learn from scratch on how to produce. So I watched like loads of YouTube tutorials and whatnot, and only from like a year ago I've really like sort of mastered it. I wouldn't say mastered in the way, like there's still a lot to learn, but I definitely know how to work a DAW like Ableton now, and I can sort of get my creativity out there without any struggle with having to like know what the software does and what to do. And it's a really good feeling, but now I have to worry about like, you know, creative blocks and all of that, and they're horrible. It's where you overthink it all. You find it hard to get your creativity out there, but those things are quite easy fixes, you know. So try to limit yourself to sit down for 8 hours straight, you know, go outside, have a walk. All those stuff's helped me. And with my recent releases, well, upcoming releases, I did all of them. You know, I spent months like analysing different tracks, got loads of creativity from these reference tracks I've used. And what I normally used to do for production was like rush it, but with these I sat down, you know, for like 2 weeks straight on one track. And yes, they are definitely good tracks now, I can tell you.
It's interesting that, isn't it? Because obviously I produce as well.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just knock a track out, don't you, in a couple of hours. Go, that's good.
Yeah.
But when you really do sit down and get all the intricacies right and get all the mastering right and the balance and everything right, it's
because there's no rush, you know.
Well, this is it, and you could spend as long as you wanted. You could spend a year on one track if you really wanted to. So nice for you to have the opportunity to focus. Where do you start with your writing? Do you simply just give yourself a kick drum and some snare and then go from there? Do you start with a bass line? Do you have an idea? How does it start for you?
Pre-production, I have to produce in the morning. I listen to, you know, around 20 tracks, analyse them, you know, beat by beat, analyse the structure. Then I sort of write down what I want to go for in a track, if it's going to be a heavy track, a melodic track, a minimal track, a progressive track. And from there, I get myself ready, get my setup nice and clean. Sometimes I light a candle. And yeah, so I start with the low ends. So I start with the kick and the bass to get the groove. And then from there, I layer it with some drums. I find some nice vocal samples. And then, yeah, from there, just, you know, do all the synths and whatnot, yeah.
But you sometimes light a candle.
Yeah.
Well, do you know what? That's not a bad thing. You've got to get your environment right, haven't you?
Yeah, that's it.
So that you're in tune with what it is that you're doing. Do you have a joss stick as well?
Yeah. I've got one. I've got some in my room as well.
Excellent. I mean, when I'm at home, I set up my disco lights and I write in that environment just because I think that's where it's going to be played out, you know.
That's right.
But okay, well, yes, you've got to cleanse your room.
Oh yeah.
Cleanse your mind and get your vibrations right. So we're going to play out a couple of your tracks. The first track, tell me about it. So
it's called Mastermind. This is definitely my favourite, and it's my most recent, actually. This track, I sort of got inspiration from my uncle. A couple weeks ago, I went over to see my uncle. He's a very, very, very good progressive DJ. And he was playing all these like white label, unknown tracks to me, like progressive tracks. I just sat down and listened to them. And then as soon as I got home, like I just had a spark of creativity, like a massive spark of creativity. And I can't really tell you the whole process of me creating that track because I was in like complete flow state. But yeah, no, it's my favourite by far. I think it really captures my sound, and I think that's the sound I would really want to go for.
Okay, and so let's introduce the track.
Yes.
Go for it, go on.
So this is Mastermind. It's going to be part of the Broken Signals EP. These EPs will be coming out monthly, so this is volume 1, and then next month will be like volume 2.
Here we go, check this out, everyone.
Behind the Decks podcast exclusive.
So mastermind.
He's a mastermind.
He's a mastermind.
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 He's a mastermind.
So mastermind.
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 He's a mastermind.
He's a mastermind.
Wow, that was amazing. Progressive tech house there, with a bit of groove and very bass driven. Oh, we just love it.
Glad you enjoyed it.
Onwards. What should we talk about next? We could talk about so many things, couldn't we?
Yeah.
Do you know what I really want to know? Is there anything that bugs you about the scene?
Yeah. So recently I've sort of noticed everyone is so focused on mainstream and underground sort of going under a little bit, and the mainstream music now is not really created with the passion that it used to be created in. For example, like there's a couple artists that have got big and they were underground that now have ghostwriters on their tracks, which I think is kind of ridiculous. Like when you create a track, it needs to be you, it needs to be yourself. I'd at the moment, like I really don't agree with all these like mainstream producers and house music producers that are going down that route. But I think how the future is going to go for all this music is people are going to start to get bored of all this mainstream tracks, and start to go more underground, and that's going to popularize underground a lot more. It's going to really push the good artists up to the top, rather than, you know, commercialized mainstream producers sort of being the top dogs. It'll be the real artists that will be better, and that's how I think the future will pan out in the next 10 years. And it's sort of already starting to look like that, as a lot of the tracks that are popular now are stemmed from underground tracks. Like, for example, tech house producers are using a lot of sounds that progressive producers used years ago. So hopefully we can see that coming in the future.
Do you think it's something that the DJs have control of, or do you think it's the venues? For example, you know, I do various different shows. One of them's for a mainstream radio show.
Yeah.
In the local area, and I have to keep it fairly commercial. In fact, I have to put stuff in that people know.
Yeah.
And it's hard to do as a DJ that's trying to push out new music and make something pioneering and progress the scene, for to be controlled in that way. And I don't want to do that. I don't want to play it. But if I want to try and influence the mainstream into coming towards the underground, I have to play some of that, as well as some of the underground, hopefully influence them into the right direction. So, you know, for me personally on radio, I know it's not quite the same as gigging, but on radio, it's not necessarily me as a DJ that is making that happen, it's the establishment that I'm working for. Does it depend on the venue you're playing?
I think it definitely does. I think if you're playing in a very popular club, where people go there to expect mainstream music or music they've already heard, and it attracts that crowd, then definitely you should be playing mainstream, because people will just leave and it won't be enough money for the venue. But if you're talking about like real underground venues and underground festivals, people come there to find new music. People come there because they have a passion for underground music. But like what Josie says, like, people need to realise there's so much good music out there, but there's so, you know, a lot of people don't know that there's all these subgenres, all these, like, you know, I mean, I'm saying this because I prefer underground music, but I think it's just better, really, because it's got a lot more soul to it, a lot more passion, because the people that write the music, they don't tend to get big, and they don't want to get big. They want to keep it the same level. So that's my take on it, really.
So what it is really is that people don't know where to find the underground music.
Exactly.
They have to go out and they have to see the DJs that are playing it, because it's not going to be on Spotify or Apple Music or whatever. So people just find their music online, and don't venture out as much as they used to.
No.
I'm hearing about the latest generation that don't like to go out drinking, don't like to have a good time. I mean, come on, what is going on?
Born in the wrong generation.
Well, it's up to your generation really to bring that back, because you're going to be able to relate to them more than us older lots.
Hopefully it does.
I think you're doing a very good job of it. Let's talk about the next track we're going to play. This is another track that you've produced.
That's right.
Tell us about it.
So this one is also part of Broken Signals. It's called Antiquated Hysteria. This has got a lot more like a progressive style to it. It's a very old school type of progressive sound. With this track, you'll notice the vocals are actually from Apollo 11 astronauts. And when I was producing, I just thought it would be a really cool idea, and it ended up being a really cool idea to actually, you know, have a progressive track with some astronauts vocals. But yeah, no, I hope you guys enjoy it. Yeah.
performing the launch status check at this time. All systems verify rhythm, count, and go for launch. OTC. Orbiter.
Wow, another stonking tune there. That was pretty awesome. Where can people find your music?
At the moment, those tracks are unreleased. They'll be released January the 30th, depending on the time you're listening to this. I've got a couple tracks on there at the moment, and you can find it on SoundCloud under Tabbsy Music. Yeah.
Great. So that was an exclusive.
Yeah.
2 exclusives. Wowza. That's cool. Okay, look, we're coming towards the end of the show. I just want to speak to you a little bit more about the radio that you're doing, because I know that you spent some time on a show in London, which you told me eventually sort of it was a bit of a learning ground for you.
That's right.
Which is fair enough. Everybody needs that. Yeah. And now you and Josie you got your own show on Code South FM.
Yeah.
How did that come about?
So actually through family friends, we basically, our parents went to a friend of ours' birthday, and me and Josie didn't want to go, because I think I had a really big heavy night the night before, and I just wanted to go to bed and get some sleep, but I was dragged out in the end, and so was Josie. And Andy, she co-runs Code South. She knew about us, especially through one of my friends who DJs at Code South, and she loves what we do, so she wanted to put us on Code South. And at the moment we're playing Friday of every month, 2nd and 4th Friday of every month.
So the 2nd and 4th Friday of every month.
Yeah.
What time?
8 till 10.
8 till 10.
Yeah.
So that's prime time slot. That's awesome, isn't it? I want that
very,
slot.
very lucky with that. Very lucky with that.
Yeah, it's brilliant. So, look, everybody, be sure to tune into that and look out for Josie and Logan when you're out in Brighton. And when you're not out in Brighton, go online and find out where they are playing, and then go and find them and go and enjoy it and learn about what the youth of today are playing, because it's pretty good stuff. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And to you, Josie, too.
Thank you so much.
And good luck with everything that you do.
Thank you.
I'm looking forward to my free ticket to your next gig. All right, that's Josie and Logan, and this is Behind the Decks with me, Ed Patterson. What a show! I'm going to leave you just with a little bit more music and from Josie, and see you on the next one. Bye.
For each a room, find everybody in room, everything in rumble, forget everything and remember, for everything a reason, find everybody in room, everything in rumble, forget everything and remember, for everything a reason. For each a room, find everybody in a room, everything in rumble, forget everything and remember, for everything a reason, find everybody in a room,
Global DJs, real stories, pure energy. This is Behind the Decks